All right, that was Soso. I don't know if to call it a remix or, but that is our opening song for today. Thank God it's Friday, my love. How you doing? Good morning. My name is Cynthia. Well, welcome to Rapid Dawn. Today is Friday. I feel good. Uh, Did I introduce you?
But I feel good.
Anyway, he has shown himself.
Hi, good morning, welcome. It's Friday. Are you happy? Are you excited? What's the word again? Well, for me, I am absolutely thrilled, exhilarated, overwhelmed, not in any way
You did not
underwhelmed.
add frenetic.
Well, we can have that. I'm feeling a bit freaky too. Yeah. So you
Um,
can call me the
what?
Freaky Zaddy.
What?
Just for today. Freaky Zaddy.
You know what freakies do, right? You know what they do?
Well,
They're
okay.
freaky,
Okay,
freaky,
okay, okay, okay.
and they're freaky.
It's okay.
They,
Oh yeah, put your account number there.
All right, guys. So it's a Friday, and of course, before we go into all of the entertaining stuff, today's all about entertainment and bringing you great stories. And I mean, of course, we have some interesting stories that we want to, share with you and update you on, just in case you missed some of them. And then we'll now go into our music, our top 5 African songs. You really don't want to miss that part. I mean, because it's going to be absolutely mind blowing. I'm telling you that because I know for a fact. I'm speaking from a certain point. So, but first of all, let's check out on our health this morning. Health is wealth. And on health and wellness this morning, what do we have?
Well, the use of aluminum foils. Some people don't know that it does have an effect. Now, is it positive or negative? We're going to allow you to find out right after the health segment.
And you need to. Doctors are warning that you should probably stop using aluminum foil right away. Aluminum is a neurotoxic-rich material. It can have serious side effects on the function of your brain. It's also been associated with Alzheimer's disease. Many doctors believe that exposure to this heavy metal can cause adverse effects that can last a long time. A few issues that are caused by this metal include loss of balance, memory issues, lack of coordination, loss of bodily control, and mental decline. Researchers have also found that when you cook with aluminum foil, it can have an effect on your bones. Aluminum can build up in your bones when you use it for cooking, and that can take the place of calcium in your bones, reducing your bone strength. In time, frequent use of aluminum foil could cause your bones to break more easily. It's not just the brain and the bones that can be affected by cooking with aluminum foil either. Studies have shown that its use has been linked to pulmonary fibrosis as well. The study also showed that if you inhale aluminum particles, it can result in respiratory problems, and that often occurs when you grill using aluminum foil. If you cook with aluminum foil at very high temperatures, part of the metal can be emitted into the food, making it unsafe to eat. A chemical engineer researcher at the American University of Sharjah, Dr. Essam Zubaidi, evaluated the effects of aluminum and cooking, and his study found that when you cook one meal in aluminum foil, it can introduce up to 400 milligrams of aluminum into your food. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended daily allowance of aluminum is limited to only 60 milligrams a day. Since you can get 400 milligrams introduced in your food when you use it to cook in just one meal, you can see how dangerous this really is. Furthermore, the higher the temperature, the more leaching occurs, and the more dangerous your food becomes. The doctor also found that while cooking with foil is a bad idea, it's even worse when you use it to cook vegetables like tomatoes, citrus juices, or spices. Unlike vitamins, minerals, and iron, our bodies don't need aluminum. Also, our body is not able to process it correctly. Since your body can't process aluminum, you wonder what happens to it after it's ingested? Studies have shown that it accumulates in your brain, lungs, kidney, liver, and even your thyroid, and that can put your health in great jeopardy. Aluminum can damage your central nervous system as well. Even worse, aluminum has been linked to autism in children. When children are exposed to aluminum in their drinking water, it can cause bone, brain, and kidney disease. Research has shown that aluminum can cause toxic stress on your brain. If your brain stores too much aluminum, it can result in MS, epilepsy, ADD, Alzheimer's, chronic fatigue syndrome, and other serious neurological disorders. The best thing you can do for your health and the health of your family is to reduce your exposure to aluminum. Since it is the most abundant metal on the planet, it's impossible to avoid it altogether. Fortunately, though, there are steps you can take to limit your exposure. Start by using aluminum-free cookware. You should also avoid personal hygiene products that contain aluminum hydroxide. And finally, cut back on your consumption of processed foods. Another step that you can take is to consume more foods that remove heavy metals naturally. These include onions, garlic, cilantro, carrot juice, green tea, burdock, and high-grade bentonite. Now that you know how harmful aluminum can be to your body, it might be time to get rid of it altogether. That might mean a more difficult cleanup after cooking and finding a new method to cook baked potatoes, but these small sacrifices are worth it since they could essentially save your life.
All right, that was one of the things that you could do. Over to you, Ugo.
Over to me. I'm not the one who orders barbecued fish every week. So I'm not the one who's always enjoying life. And it always comes in aluminum foil.
That's not true. That's not true. The number of times I patronize what comes in aluminum foil is very rare. In fact, if there's anybody that likes to eat fish, it's him. No, speak.
It's
Speak
a
up.
matter of
Speak up.
allegations now. I am being wrongfully accused of something that I do not at all engage in, you know. But then again, if this information is out there, why is it that, you know, vendors, people who usually use, you know, that foil thing to, you know, prepare fish or meat, so why do they keep investing in it if it's really harmful to people's health? And why are agencies like, you know, the NAFDAC, why are they not looking into stuff like that, the Ministry of Health, since it's been established that it's injurious to our health? I think it was even just this week that I also saw a content from Aproko Doctor with regards to, you know, this as well.
Sometimes it's about information, it's about not knowing. Knowing something and intentionally doing it is one thing, and then not even knowing because it is the available means that everyone is using. And so it sometimes wouldn't even make sense if you go and tell them, Madam, you know, say this way they do, you know, good, or you know, it is harmful, or you just say this. It's not going to make sense, because if you have to tell them that, then you have to provide a solution. So if you do not have a solution that is affordable, because imagine a fish used to buy like 10K, and then they have to go and use the better means, and they have to sell the fish like 20 or 17K. Are you going to pay? So this is the available means. This is the common means. This is what everybody is used to. So yeah, sometimes sensitization and profiling solution. So it's one thing to let them know, but what baffles me is I also see in quote big restaurants doing this thing too. So is it that their chefs don't know, or the people handling their barbecue and all of that don't know, or their items don't know that these things are not good? But it's one thing for you to use the aluminum foil to wrap something, just wrap it. It's even worse when you have to put it on the fire.
Yeah.
That's even the worst one. You can use it to wrap your meat, all those things, but we have to go to the fire.
Now particles of that,
Exactly.
you know, just fizzles into whatever you're
That's just
roasting
it.
or
But
whatever
then
it
again,
is.
it's about, it's affordable, it's easy to access, but does it make it good? Absolutely not. Anyway, it was a lot of too much serious stuff.
But it will not stop somebody from still ordering fish tonight.
Oh God. Anyway, let's now move on to something fun. Like I told you, it's Friday. Now let me ask you a question. How would you feel if someone told you that all you just have to do is dance and you don't have to pay your children's school fees for the next 1 or 2 terms? How would you feel?
But yeah.
I mean, parents will be so happy. That was what happened in this particular video. So we saw this very funny video, and it was like the principal promised that the moms should dance, and they're not going to pay their kids' school fees. The winner is not going to pay the kids' school fees for the next 2 terms or so, thereabout. So let us watch this video and let's judge whose mom danced the most? Someone said, I was reading the comments in that on that video. Someone said, imagine you have 4 kids in that school, and principal has promised that no school fees the next one term.
I mean,
He said these men are not even dancing though.
Wallahi.
They're not even dancing.
Wallahi. Like, imagine having 100K plus. That's for one kid. Or if all you have in the school is one kid, 100K plus, taking off your spending budget. Imagine the relief that would be.
Absolutely, absolutely. Then you have like 4 kids. That's 400K off your budget. I mean, tell me, I would dance how David danced. And you know how the Bible described David's dance? That even his rope were falling off. Let's not even go into that detail.
Back in the days, we danced for more ridiculous stuff.
Oh well. I have not detailed you my days as a dancer.
If the winner of this dance is going to go home with a carton of noodles or something, or a tin of milk, and then come and see children, come and see kids. Back in the days, everybody's busting moves and showing you things you've never seen on the dance floor.
Anyway,
this is a whole different level.
Talking about kids, it's very, very good for us to pay attention to our children. Away from all of the, happy times you get to spend with them, sometimes when you are too busy to spend time with your kids, these kids don't understand it as you being busy because you want to make money. They see it as you abandoning them. They see it as you not loving them. They you might want to call them little manipulators. That's how but that is how they see it. You cannot take it away. Let's watch this very short video about paying attention to your kids. This young boy really, really touched some parts, and we want to share that with you.
누구랑 놀 때 제일 좋아?
잘 모르겠다. 너무 취침하니까 말을 안 몰아줘.
아빠 오셨어요.
아빠는 어때?
한마디 하면 무서워.
아빠한테 바라는 거 있어?
이렇게 보내줬으면 좋겠다. 모두야, 이렇게 보내줬으면 좋겠어.
혹시 엄마는 어때?
다 좋아하는 것 같아.
엄마한테 말해봤어?
내 말을 안 들어줘. 모두야, 놀아주면 좋겠어.
I mean, they are kids, and you just have to be able to give them attention. It's not they're not adults that you say, oh, what do you want? You want too much? Oh, you're asking for too much. No, they're when it comes to kids, they're never asking for too much because their brain doesn't process things as you would process as an adult, and so you talk to them nicely, you play with them. Even if you have to rush out to do something work related or other likes, they have to know. They have to. You have to leave them feeling like you're coming back because you want to go do something and you'll be back. You don't make them feel like you are secondary, but this is primary because in their minds they expect to be primary. They didn't send you to give back to them. That's the truth. They were swimming in the pool. They were swimming and enjoying themselves, doing high five with their fellows. They didn't ask you to bring them to this world, and you decided to, so the least you could do is love on them. Basically, that's it. And it's so heartbreaking to see that young boy feeling that way. Some of you, when you go back, you're scary. Guys, his father is scary. It's not nice. Really not nice. Anyway, that's emotional. But let's now go to things happening in the country. But that would be after this music break. All right, that was Romain Virgo right there. Baby, I wanna be your sole provider.
The kind of stuff that Nigerian women love to hear.
Who doesn't like good things? Tell me.
I am not Jehovah Jireh. He's the only one who can be your sole provider.
I don't get it. No, when a man says sole provider, it's not about what God gives. It's about what a man can give. Why are you looking at them like that? It's about your 2-5.
Crazy.
It's about your time. Okay, let's leave that one. It's about your time. It's about your pum pum. It's about your energy. It's about everything.
Okay.
What? All right, let's move to some serious things happening. All right, so yesterday, something did happen at their Senate. And when I saw this video, I was like, okay, not a very good way to, to treat your fellow senator. So this was between the Senate president and Senator Natasha Akpoti. If you don't know Senator Natasha, you know she's a very, very fearless, dogged politician, and I mean she fought her way to that house, and I'm sure that her people elected her there, and it's been a journey for her. Some persons are saying that the Senate president shouldn't have said what he said, but anyway. Let's check out this video between Senator Akpabio and the Senate President Akpabio and Senator Natasha.
Those in favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against, say nay.
Mr. President, we don't want it to be killed. We just want a bit of modification. We don't want the bill killed, but it should be slight modifications, sir. It's a necessary bill.
This is Senator Natasha in the chamber. You have to be recognized before you speak.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, we are not in a nightclub. So,
I mean, come on.
Oh.
Let's just say that you said, okay, distinguished Natasha, you have to be recognized before you speak, fine. But going ahead to say we're not in the nightclub, what does that mean? Are you calling the senator someone's wife a nightclubber or a club girl? Is that what it is?
That didn't come out well at all. I am sure the Honorable Senate President did not intend to insult or disrespect the person of Natasha Akpoti, but the way that he said it and that very last statement about we are not in the nightclub, it doesn't come out well at all.
I mean, the question people are asking right now everywhere on the social space is, would he have said that to a male senator?
Well, it is possible.
We've seen them argue in the House. We've seen them
there's also the
struggle
angle
in the
of,
House.
you know, Natasha is not, it's actually a young politician, you know. So I'm saying that to respond to the issue of, would he say that to a male senator? If probably a male senator who hasn't seen a lot of years politicking, perhaps he might.
How is she a young
not
senator?
Be careful.
Is it because she's 44?
Not be careful to make an unguarded statement like that. There are ranking female members of the Senate that I don't think he's going to use that term or that comment to address whatever issue, you know, regarding them. Now, the position of the Senate President is one that's really very important. It's one that you have to be really careful the way that you organize things in the Senate, the way that you administer whatever it is you guys do there. It's a really, really important job. You have to be careful with your statements. You have to be a gentleman most of the time. And most of all,
in this same Senate that we see people arguing up and down?
And most of all, you have to be aware of what the rules and regulations are, you know, regarding things like airing your opinion in the red chamber.
People were arguing, like the senators were arguing about something, and she only just so probably should have joined them in just shouting everywhere in the hall. She decided to go to the mic. Yes, she did apologize, right? But that should have ended there. And coming back to what you say, she's a young, yeah, she's 44, yes, but the political scene is not new to Natasha. Okay, when it if you follow the story of Natasha, you see how dogged and how outspoken she is when it comes to certain issues. And don't forget that Natasha has also ran for the post of senator for Kogi this thing that in under the SDP party. That was in 2019. She also contested in 2019 Kogi state election, which was held in 2019 as well, before this time around. And if not for her fierceness,
I think she's also run for governor at some point.
Yeah, and if not for her fierceness, and her activism and the love that the people have for her, I'm not
she
sure
would not be in this position.
Exactly. So her work has spoken for her. So I do not think that it's about she being a young senator. No, because it's almost impossible for you to say that you don't recognize the work that Natasha has put in. Yes, she did apologize when all of that was happening, but going ahead to say that we're not in a nightclub,
my point
that wasn't
is,
cool.
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember any female senator right now. But for instance, what's her name again? Probably an Nkiruka Onyejocha, who, for years was always going to the House of Reps, to represent. I think it's the Isukwato Munuchi constituency in Abia State. Because she's a ranking member, I am thinking, and because she's been there talk about age as well. She's far more advanced than Natasha. I am sure in a situation like this, I mean, this does not happen every day. In a situation like this, I'm sure the speaker or whoever is presiding over the plenary at the moment would be really careful, because guess what? It's someone who's been there time and time again, But the fact that she does, again, I'm looking for the right words, yeah? But altogether, the comment of the Senate President is really disappointing.
Don't forget that we have our Ireti Kingigbe, the senator representing FCT, right there. And don't forget how the FCT minister spoke to her and about her the other time when he was doing the commissioning. So a lot of people are beginning to ask the question: is it because they're not Ireti is not is an old soul? So what would you say about that? So I think that
there is also the angle of Senate President, APC, Akpoti, Natasha, PDP. But then again, as a Senate President, you cannot be addressing people anyhow simply because they do not belong to your political affiliation.
The thing is this: it is not even about, okay, would you tell a 44-year-old Senate male the same thing?
I don't want us to
That's
make it.
The angle people are looking.
I don't want to
from.
say it's not a gender thing.
I mean, we should have read the comments that you would have seen. That's where people are taking it from.
It's really not a gender thing. I don't want to believe that is what it is. I think it was really uncalled for from the Senate President. I think he needs to also apologize to Senator Akpoti. But then again, there is the angle of, Madam, you spoke out of turn. You had not been given the permission to speak.
And she said she's sorry. That should have ended. That should have ended. I mean, in life, it's good for us to know when to end things, when to pursue, when to pause, and like, okay, it's as simple as that. But anyway, let's not flog that too much. Still, let's now go to the House of Representatives, where there have been stories on the news that some Nigerians, a couple of Nigerians, whichever way you want to put it, are intending to go on a protest due to the hardship in the country. And of course, the economic hardship, enjoyment hardship, everything. It's just difficult. I mean, today is Friday and I'm supposed to be chopping life somewhere, but I'm thinking about if there's money in my chopping account. So all of the kind of things, I shouldn't be worrying about them. But anyway, the House of Reps, urging that youth shouldn't protest. We have this in this report that was done by our reporter, Godwin Amunde.
Citing the need for patience and dialogue with the government, members of the House of Representatives urge Nigerians to reconsider a planned nationwide protest over economic hardship. The lawmakers agreed that the challenges are not unique to Nigeria and that the road to change is not easy. The motion was raised by Honorable Ibrahim Ishaka and supported by the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu.
The Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, the House herefrom urges you, our fellow Nigerians, to consider the broader perspective, to act with wisdom and foresight, and to support efforts towards a more stable, secure, and prosperous Nigeria. Let us reason together. Let us listen to one another. And let us work hand in hand towards a brighter tomorrow. Be it resolved by this House of Representatives that this motion be communicated to all relevant stakeholders and the general public to promote a peaceful and constructive approach to addressing our national issues.
The Deputy Speaker, Kalu, also moved a motion for the House to sacrifice 50% of their salaries for the next 6 months to support Nigerians.
Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal, even if it means cutting our salary to help with the provision of food for our people who are hungry. I want to appeal that the House look into that. I know our salary is not much, but even if it means we did that in COVID. During COVID, we cut our salaries. We slice our salary and we help the people. This is a time that is calling for sacrifice. And I'm sure these people here are willing to make sacrifices for our people. Let them consider our appeal. Mr. Speaker, a gentleman here called me this morning, a member of the parliament. He said, we are young parliamentarians. We want to go to appeal to Nigerians, even if it means kneeling down, asking them to be a little patient. And this parliamentarian is not from APC. This parliamentarian is from opposition party. He said, I'm young, like those who are agitating. I am on social media, like those who are agitating. But I know the effort we are making here to make the nation great. If it means kneeling down to them, we will kneel.
However, some lawmakers diverged from their colleagues, emphasizing the need for concrete actions to alleviate the economic hardship.
A hungry man is an angry man. We know this. Protests normally are ways of informing the government of what people feel, particularly negative things that are happening now. We all know that, I don't know of other states, but in my state, there are houses that for a good 4 or 5 days, they cook nothing, and they sleep on nothing, and they feed on nothing.
We all believe that he has a very good plan for this country. His policies is a long-term plan for this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we need a very short-term plan, considering the emergency situation we're in. We are not praying, Mr. Speaker, if we allow this protest to take place or escalate, Mr. Speaker, we don't know where it stops. Mr. Speaker, just now, we cut our salaries. Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to executive to do so, from Mr. President to Vice President to ministers to chief executive officers of MDAs and parastatals. Let's all of us cut our salaries, put the money in government copper, provide short-term solutions to this problem, Mr. Speaker. People are hungry outside, Mr. Speaker. Even if it warrants to slash the cost of petroleum, revert back the hike of electricity, Mr. Speaker. That the President declared our borders open for staple foods, grains, to come into Nigeria free for importation without custom duty. This is an idea that is meant to assuage the suffering of the people, especially in terms of food security and supply of food to our doorsteps. Mr. Speaker, I am also aware that in some of the supplementary arrangements made by the present-day government, the intention was to address some of these issues that are really ravaging the welfare and well-being of our people. And that is why we will continue to give the government that kind of support to continue to do the right thing, Mr. Speaker.
The call for patience and dialogue comes as the country navigates economic hardship. From the National Assembly, Godwin Amundi, Rapid Television News.
The interesting part for me was when the Deputy Speaker said, I know it is not even much, but if it means us cutting down.
But how much is it again? You know, at his level. And talking of salaries, have you heard that there is finally an agreement between Labour and the federal government? The people who are
it's
saying...
still not up to a bag of rice.
The people who are saying, give us 250,000 naira. What was even the first thing they said?
At first it was about 300, thereabout.
I thought it was 400.
Yeah, 400 something, yeah.
Now, they have settled for 70K. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't
no,
know.
but at least they got something.
From 30,000 to 70,000.
But it's still not enough to buy a bag of rice. But let's see how that goes. Now, it's not left for the state levels now, because the state and the private sector are saying that what they can afford is 62,000, right? And you know what that means when you say your minimum wage is 70,000. It has to go across board, like I always keep saying.
And then people who are earning certain things now would have to have their pay now upgraded.
You get upgrade.
Because if there was somebody who was not receiving 70K in your office before, and then you increase his pay to 70K, and then there are some other people who were at 70, You know, of course, they don't do the same job now.
Yeah.
So you cannot come and bring everybody to be at the same level. You know, of course, there's experience, there's
I can't see
qualification.
everything turning around.
There's a whole lot of things to think about and consider here. So,
All right, let's now move on to. Okay.
what do you think Nigerians will listen to the plea? Because since this whole news about protest started, you know, there's been a lot of pleading to Nigerians to please calm down. Please calm down. Well, let's see if Nigerians will hear.
Maybe if they cut their salaries, we would think about it. We'll just think about it small. All right. Still, I think let's talk about things that are still happening in the FCT here, which is the okay. No, let's move to Lagos. I mean, I can always tell you that Lagos, things happen in Lagos a lot.
Where flood wants to carry people away.
Calm down. They are doing. I mean, Governor Sanwo-Olu is really doing a lot for the people of Lagos State. Now, so as I did do a couple of stories from Lagos State, which was let's have one of the economic situation, which is boosting economic growth. And the governor met with some persons and to see how we can have a thriving economy. Let's have this report.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu welcomed the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC, Aisha Rimi, and her team to Lagos House, Marina. Given a breakdown of the activities and lineup of her agency, including the promotion of investment opportunities in the country, Rimi noted the vital roles Lagos play in Nigeria's investment drive, having the highest demographic dividends that must be tapped into. The NIPC boss says the team has been moving around the country, starting with the Northwest region and now the Southwest, shopping for investment opportunities and collaboration among states.
Investment travels, and it travels very quickly. We've seen what you've done with the railway, and we know that it has gone into neighboring states and they're able to peel off all of that. So it's how we can promote ultimately what we call RIBS, which is responsible, inclusive, balanced, and sustainable investments across not just states but regions as well. And so it's very important that we have a healthy and collaborative working relationship, and thankfully we do. So the purpose of our visit here ultimately is to reinforce that, to reaffirm our support, and to say that we will continue to partner with Lagos State.
Being the nation's jewel that comes with opportunities and challenges, Governor Sanwo-Olu says Lagos is working via all sectors to help realize Mr. President's vision of doubling the nation's gross domestic product in 5 to 6 years.
The country still has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential on the market side, you know, in the demography side, in the intellectual, you know, and human capital capacity side. I usually say to anywhere we go to that, bring anything, you know, into our country, you can be rest assured that you have right skills that can pick it up and deal with it.
The governor, however, says the state is still open to more local and foreign investors as it is working tooth and nail to create and maintain an investment-friendly environment.
We also, as citizens, have to also, you know, make conscious investment into our environment as well, you know, because people will also not just come and help you. Our investors, our citizens also must be able to take further risk in our own environment and know that there's no better place than home. So make those investments.
Governor Sanwo-Olu presented iconic gifts to the NIPC boss, demonstrating the investment-friendly nature of the Center of Excellence. Esther Omelo, Rapid TV, Lagos.
All right, that was the partnership between the NIPC investment opportunities right there. I mean, I will ask you again, what investment opportunities are being discussed in your state?
A lot.
Give me what? Breakdown. Breakdown.
I'm not the governor. I don't work for the Abia State government.
Hi.
But from here, I can feel the look and feel. But the look and feel from Abia, you know, does indicate that, you know, people are happy with some of the things that are being done by the government. But unfortunately, the last time I checked, I was under the employ of Rapid Television.
Oh my God.
Anytime I'm employed by the Abia state government, then I can begin to speak about the activities.
You have to checkmate the activities of your state governor. All right, let's now move on to our final report for this morning, which is something on tackling tuberculosis. The Ministry of Health, private sector unites to bridge funding gap. And this is also done by Esther. Let's have it.
Tuberculosis is one of the most pressing public health challenges facing Nigeria, and addressing it remains a significant concern for the government, hence the need for partnership to achieve its end come 2030. Over the years, Stop TB Partnership Nigeria has initiated advocacy for increased resources and mobilized critical stakeholders for increased domestic resources to support TB prevention. At this official launch of private sector strategy to end tuberculosis in Nigeria, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, seeks for a matching fund deal to end TB.
So if we are able to strike this deal to mobilize from the domestic private sector resources that you can hold, not to government, but to hold it, not to use it for overhead and stuff, but actually to go towards finding cases and treating. I comment from the government side that we will step up, we will try to match it with our domestic resources in the public finance, in the budget, but also will not ever go to match what you are able to put on the table.
We might be able to put in a lot of manpower, we might be able to do a lot of health education for our staff and our people out there. That is how we want to partner and invest. Well, another sector might be putting in the finance, the funding, the gen experts and stuff, but people in the health sector, there's a lot we're going to do, and like I said, we want to change our strategy. It's action, not words. Enough of talk.
Representatives of the private sector pledged to eradicate tuberculosis.
I like to do health deals, and we will do a health deal. The deals must be sustainable, they must be smart, okay, and of course, they must have a big impact.
So we have a staff strength of 48,000 people, and what we will do, starting tomorrow, is making sure that everybody that is covered by our HMO program has TB screening as part of what is going to happen to them.
The need to intensify efforts to end TB was also emphasized.
We are screening and finding more cases, so the drugs to treat them, in fact, could be a challenge, let's say from next year, from mid next year. So we're anticipating that. While federal government will do more in 2025, we're also offering the opportunity for the private sector to also do more.
It is hoped that the matching fund of $50 million, which 50% is expected from the federal government and 50% from the private sector, will go a long way to end tuberculosis come 2030. Esther Omelo, Rapid TV, Lagos.
Okay. Amen to that.
Okay, a big amen, since we are all saying amen. So that was looking at a critical health issue that affects millions of Nigerians, which is tuberculosis. A lot of people don't want to talk about tuberculosis a lot, but then it's a thing, and we thank God for this initiative. We thank God for this funding gap. We thank God for, I mean, it's a good thing. So let's see how that will be put to use, and it's about the for me, it's all about implementation. Implementation right here. Implementation. Like the governor's wife said, enough talking. Let's just go straight to the action. I like the action part. It's always about the action. And we were looking at it to see if there will be any change in the course of the project. All right, let's now, I think in a couple of minutes, it will be time for Ogo to give us what is happening in the world of sports. I'm sure he has a lot of things. I do not want to guess what his lineup is made up, but I'm very sure that there will be Osimhen inside.
Or maybe not. I think I'm going to suspend everything regarding that until
you get a definite
No, no, no.
start.
Until he signs for his new club, because that will definitely happen. You don't think it's going to happen. You don't want it to happen, but it's definitely going to happen.
Okay, so while we are there, before we go on this music break, let's look at this story that broke out yesterday on the Dubai princess who went on Instagram to divorce her husband 3 times. Let's have that on the screen, please. So the daughter of Dubai's ruler apparently announced her divorce on social media in what would be a rare move for a princess in the United Arab Emirates. And on her Instagram page, she, Sheikha Mara bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the daughter of the UAE Prime Minister, and Dubai ruler Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, announced her intention to leave her husband, a fellow royal. And she did say, "Dear husband, as you are occupied with other companions, I hereby declare our divorce. I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you. Take care, your ex-wife." So it is. So now, just in case you don't know what she did there, so the princess was invoking the controversial practice of triple divorce that is used in some Muslim countries, where a man instantly divorces his wife by declaring it 3 times. Now, the method is banned in some countries and isn't customarily invoked by women against their husbands. Just to let you know that Mara married Sheikh Mana bin Mohammed, also a member of the Dubai ruling family, last year in a very, very glamorous ceremony that was featured in magazines such as Harper's Bazaar, Grazia, and the rest. And they had a daughter shortly afterwards. You know, pictures of her husband have now been removed from her, from her account. There are no pictures of her and Sheikh on either of their accounts. Even on Sheikh's account, there's neither a picture of her as well. And so it is, everyone was like, okay.
That's definitely a bombshell.
So someone said, "Poverty, I divorce you. I divorce you. I divorce you."
That's definitely a bombshell, because that's the kind of stuff you would expect from people in the entertainment industry, people looking to make news, basically people in the showbiz business, show business, I beg your pardon. But then again, for royalty in the form of, the princess of the UAE.
She's had enough.
My goodness. And did you see the message? As you're busy occupied with other companions.
Exactly.
And then, just in case I divorce you, but just in case you didn't hear it the first time.
I divorce you.
And just in case you were too busy or you did not hear me very well.
I divorce you the third time.
I divorce you. My God, there is no coming back from this. And to think that this is just over a year. They got married in June 2023. This is July. What's happening now? Okay, now I think it's evident that money is not everything there is to keeping a marriage or a relationship together.
It is said that this lady is, her net worth is estimated at over $15 billion. And her luxurious lifestyle is definitely documented. You could see it. It's not.
What do you expect?
So the thing now is, like, I made a post on my socials yesterday. I said something which some persons were trying to argue, and the thing is this: you don't even have to argue it, because as a woman, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're fat, whether you're slim, whether you're whatever it is you are, no woman likes cheating. That's the truth. This is one thing that men have to understand. No woman likes to hear or know or feel or perceive, sense, or assume that her man is with another person. Especially, some people are saying, okay, but you're Muslims and all of that, so you should be open with your husband marrying multiple wives. And I think I asked someone saying that there's a difference when you have to marry more wives, right? And you having your escapades all around, and the woman is saying, okay, I can't take this. A lot of times women take these things not because they like it, but because let's just have peace. May not be like, say, Nami they complain past. Then they now coin this whole thing that it rains everywhere. But now you've seen that even the rich, the wealthy, cannot take it. How is it so hard for you to fix yourself in one place? Or better still, stay single if you cannot stay in one place.
And apparently, it appears they've been having a couple of issues, because earlier this year, she posted a picture that had only herself and her daughter, and then wrote just the two of us.
So she's been, she's
she's
been burying it, thinking, okay, let's see. And then now she's like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. But there are reports that the house hasn't responded, haven't said anything. They've not done any interview. They haven't commented regarding the situation. But I'm sure that it will be handled fairly, because I mean, when it comes to divorce in the Islamic setting, it's not as strict and stringent as we have in the Christian fold for
and it's
women.
not common either.
For women. No. It's not about the issue of common here, but let's not talk about that. Let's leave that part. But we'll see the story unfold and how it goes. And if there's anything to update you guys, why not? We will update you.
This is sort of good news.
How is it good news? The people divorce.
I'm really sad for that. But considering that how net worth is about $15 billion.
Are you trying to apply?
Let it be known, my dear princess, that I am single.
And you will not cheat on her?
I can cook.
Oh my God.
Can do a lot of things that I may not be able to say on live television. Please, kindly consider my availability.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all right like that. We will go on a music break, but by the time we come back, you're going to see only Ugo right here for sports.
Because I say I want to marry the princess.
Because
I say I want to marry the princess.
He's going to do the rest of the show alone.
Do you have 15
I
billion
know
dollars?
do again.
Do you have 15 billion?
I know do again.
Let me just bring, do you have 15 billion naira?
I know do again.
What of 1 billion?
I know do again. Go and meet your princess. They go divorce you on this time on Twitter.
You have to complete it. Go and meet your princess with $15 billion. I don't mind.
Music break.
All right, good morning. It's your daily dose of sportainment, and of course, the morning tonic you ingest once every 24 hours, Monday to Friday, right here on this channel. Ugochukwu Madumere is my name. And this morning, the Super Eagles have dropped in the latest FIFA rankings. This update regarding the Super Falcons and their involvement in the Olympics, and of course, we have a couple of signings here and there, players moving in, coming out, a lot of money being spent, and what have you. Well, without further ado, and without much ado, let's get on with the main events this morning. And let's kickstart by telling you that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have dropped one place in the latest FIFA rankings released by the Football Association yesterday, dropping from number 38 to 39th in the world. And according to the list released, we remain the 5th best team on the continent. And the update in rankings comes after the conclusion of the recent international competitions, the Euros in Germany, and of course the Copa America in USA. Well, in June, Nigeria dropped 8 spots in the global rankings, and indeed the impressive accumulated points gathered at the African Cup of Nations earlier this year. Well, it was understandable. We drew 1-1 with South Africa in Uyo, and we lost 2-1 to Benin Republic in Ivory Coast during the qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. And in the ranking table, Nigeria maintained 1,498.93 points, coefficient they had in June. The top 3 national teams in the continent are Morocco, who are 14th in the world, Senegal, who are 19th, and Egypt, number 3 in Africa, 39th in the world. Ivory Coast are 38th in the world and ranked 4th in Africa. And of course, Nigeria is number 5. Argentina, who successfully defended their Copa America title last weekend, retained the top spot ahead of second-placed France, Argentina doubled their points lead over Le Bleu in the process. Spain, the Euro 2024 champions, won the most points and moved up from the 5th place to number 3, ahead of England and Brazil in the top 5. Now, the next world ranking will be released in September. Let's move on to our female national team now, and let's tell you that despite a 1-0 defeat to their Canadian opponents in a tune-up game, a friendly encounter that was played just 2 days ago, that was on Wednesday in Malaga, Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum and captain Rashida Tajibade said they were left impressed with the improvement of the team ahead of the Olympics in Paris. Canada capitalized on a mistake by midfielder Deborah Abiodun in the 8th minute to score the only goal, which was converted by Jordan Huitema, well, in their first and only test match. And that's not really good because, I mean, you cannot be saying that you're going to compete against Brazil, compete against Spain and Japan, and it's only one high-profile tune-up game that you have played. That does not speak very well of your readiness and how ready you are, for a major tournament like the Olympics. And remember, the Falcons had won the resultant penalty shootout 5-4, a pre-arranged decision agreed upon by the game organizers. The defeat was the Falcons' first in 15 games since their 1-0 loss to Colombia in February 2023. And reacting to the defeat, Waldrum, remember, we had a goalless draw with Canada. That was during the World Cup last year, where, in fact, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie saved a last-minute penalty that should have cost us that game. So it was a goalless draw in New Zealand in 2023 during the World Cup. So this was a moment to perhaps get some sort of upper hand against the Canadians, who are defending champions of the Olympics. So the very fact that it was a 1-0 win, yes, you might want to say it wasn't a bad match. We didn't lose scandalously, but I think there's a lot of expectation from that team now. A very strong Group C, what a lot of people call the Group of Death, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, world champions Spain, the best footballing nation in South America, Brazil, and of course an undisputed world power in women's football, Japan, all lumped together in that particular one. Now, good news for followers of the Olympics this year, as the Athletes Village for the Paris Olympics and Paralympics officially opened and welcomed its first inhabitants yesterday. The village to north of Paris will house nearly 14,500 people, including 9,000 athletes at its peak. 8 days before the opening ceremony, the first team members to arrive were from Australia and Brazil. And when is Team Nigeria going to arrive at the Olympic Village? You know how we always like to do our things. Maybe a day, or maybe even on the day of the opening ceremony. But I think this is one competition where we should try to do everything possible to have a good outing. If it means having to get the teams in camp early enough, well, good one, because the Falcons arrived in France, Bordeaux. That was yesterday. We're still waiting to hear that the Team Nigeria, for the track and field events, and then the Tigers as well, the female basketball team, that they will arrive and kickstart preparations, trainings, and what have you, to make sure that we'll have a good outing at this year's Olympics. Now, there's been a couple of developments with regards to transfers and what have you. Well, let's start off by announcing to Manchester United fans, good news for them, because they've bought teenage French defender Lenny Yoro from Lille, the Premier League club announced yesterday. United said they signed the 18-year-old until June 2029. British media reported that United were paying Lille 62 million pounds with 8 million euros in potential add-ons. And Yoro made his professional debut for Lille in May 2022 and went on to make 46 Ligue 1 appearances for the club. And now that is the first major signing for Manchester United this summer. And we hear they are also on the radar to possibly acquire the services of Manuel Ugarte, and that will also be a fantastic addition to the Manchester United fold. Lenny Yoro, now of the Red Persuasion. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to Manchester United. A lot of people have been calling them out. Or why are they spending so much money? But then again, if you don't spend money, how do you expect to win trophies? But in some sort of shade, if you like, that was how Chelsea spent, you know, the amount of money they spent last season, the highest by any side in a very long time, and yet nothing come out, like we usually say. So is it going to be that case of spending a lot of money for Manchester United and nothing will come out? Well, they've already signed Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna this season. Now they've acquired the services of Lenny Yoro. Now, who's going to be the next? Possibly Manuel Ugarte, who is a fantastic defensive midfielder. Because one of the problems that United had last season was they were leaking too much. Even in games where it looked as if they were in control, they were in front, they had the advantage. Before you knew it, they were you know, coming from behind again. They had to come from behind a lot of times in the games last season, and their performance was not really an impressive one, you know, from the perspective of most of their fans. So let's see if their signings are going to translate to better performances. They had already lost their first preseason game against one of the club sides. I cannot even remember their name, but hopefully they're able to get their ass together and get back to winning ways. Now, for German champions Bayer Leverkusen, yesterday signed uncapped French striker Martin Terrier from the Gone side Rennes. The two clubs announced yesterday. Bayer Leverkusen said they signed the 27-year-old until 2029, but did not mention a fee. He has appeared for France at under-21 level and started his career at Lille and had stints at Strasbourg and Lyon. He played 141 matches and scored 51 goals for Rennes, definitely writing his name in the club's history, and we hope he has a fantastic time at Bayer Leverkusen. But that now means that Victor Boniface would have to step up, because there's now somebody to drag shit with him in that striking position. Still in Germany, Borussia Dortmund yesterday said they signed Serhou Guirassy from Bundesliga rivals Stuttgart, ending their long pursuit of the Guinean striker. The agreement with the striker was delayed after Guirassy's initial medical at Dortmund revealed an injury that required further investigation, according to the club. Well, after additional tests, Dortmund established that the knock picked up by Guirassy in an international game towards the end of the season did not need to be operated on, the club said in a statement. Now, Dortmund sealed Guirassy's signing after meeting the 18 million release clause. Guirassy had a breakout campaign with Stuttgart last season, scoring 28 goals in as many league games and propelling Stuttgart to a surprise second-place finish and a Champions League berth in his first season with the team. Wishing him all the very best. A fantastic striker. He will now join the likes of Niklas Füllkrug, Ivory Coast forward Sebastian Heller, and of course teenager Youssoufa Moukoko. Let's see how that pans out. A lot of transfer stories this morning. Marseille have signed striker Mason Greenwood from Manchester United. The Ligue 1 side announced on social media yesterday, despite the objection of some of the French club's fans. Also yesterday, we heard that the big man Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has now moved to Saudi Arabia. For Manchester City, they have announced the signing of Brazilian winger Savino from French side Troyes. There's a lot of movement in and out of France this season, of course owned by the same parent company, I beg your pardon, as the English champions. Savio, if you like, shone last season on loan at Girona, another club owned by the City Group. The City will reportedly pay a fee of 30 million euros for the 20-year-old who has signed a 5-year contract. And after his signing from Atletico Mineiro in 2022, he was immediately loaned to PSV Eindhoven. The Brazilian international then spent the last 12 months in La Liga, where he scored 9 goals and provided 10 assists as Girona finished third behind Real Madrid and Barcelona to qualify for the Champions League for the first time in their history. Well, I'm thinking with this arrival, there is the possibility that, what's his name again? Julian Alvarez might be making a move away from Manchester City. Now, Georges Mekadzi, one of the stars of Georgia's run to the last 16 of Euro, on Thursday jumped a division in France when he returned to Olympique Lyon from Metz. Metz have now been relegated. They will be playing in the lower division. And still talking about France, I told you a lot of activity around that particular league this season. Patrick Vieira has resigned or stood down as manager of Strasbourg. The Ligue 1 club confirmed yesterday, as his name has now been linked to the vacant United States men's team coaching job. Vieira, a 1998 World Cup winner with France, joined Strasbourg last season and is leaving by mutual agreement. So let's see what happens next with the Frenchman Patrick Vieira. Adrien Rabiot is no longer a Juventus player after the Serie A club's sporting director Cristiano Giuntoli confirmed yesterday that the France midfielder's contract will not be removed, and they have thanked Adrien Rabiot for his input, so far. Giuntoli was speaking at Thiago Motta's first official press conference as new Juve coach. Remember, Thiago Motta was coach of Bologna last season, and he will be taking charge of his first Serie A match as Juve boss when the Turin Giants host promoted Como on the 19th of August. And talking about Como, they have signed former Spain goalkeeper Pepe Reina. Remember him on a one-year deal. And the 41-year-old, who has played for some of Europe's biggest clubs, the likes of Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, will be a backup goalkeeper for Pau Lomez, who is set to arrive from Marseille. And Reina returns to Italy after being released by La Liga outfit Villarreal. And Como, of course, bankrolled by tobacco giants Jarum. They have stormed through the division since being acquired in 2019, following multiple bankruptcies. And Reina will now join former Spain teammate Cesc Fabregas at ambitious Como, who kick off their first campaign right there against Juventus. Now, let's round off with news making the rounds in mainland Europe. And let's tell you that West Ham are in talks to sign France midfielder N'Golo Kante from Saudi Pro League club Al Ittihad in a deal that could be in the region of £20 million. Tottenham are aiming to beat Fulham to the signature of Manchester United's 27-year-old Scotland midfielder Scott McTominay. Fulham want to bring in Brazil midfielder André from Fluminense as they look to replace 29-year-old Portugal international Joao Palhinha following his move to Bayern Munich. Arsenal look set to end their interest in England defender Mark Guehi, with Crystal Palace demanding more than 70 million. But from his showing, I think Crystal Palace are trying to cash in on the opportunity at hand, strike while the iron is hot. He had a very, very fantastic outing during the Euros in Germany, and I'm thinking his worth has gone way higher than it used to be before the tournament. Brentford are expected to reduce their asking price to less than £50 million for 28-year-old England forward Ivan Toney because of lack of interest from rival clubs. Manchester United remain interested in Paris Saint-Germain 23-year-old Uruguay midfielder Manuel Ugarte. Chelsea plan to reward England forward Cole Palmer with incremental wage rises following his impressive form for them last season and growing importance to the team. And that's about it on the show this morning, because he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Until tomorrow, did I say tomorrow? Well, look at me, very eager to be with you every day of the week. Well, you have to wait up until Monday when I will be back with more exciting news from the world of sports. Ugochukwu Madumere is my name, and the breakfast show continues in just a moment.
To meet you on this other side because it's Friday and you know what I say? I know what I bring to the table, so I'm not afraid to eat. You don't get it. You're supposed to be saying Rema.
I mean, that is so profound. I just, I'm taking it in bit by bit.
Okay, that's because, I mean, today is for entertainment, it's for us to have fun, and so I'm just in a hurry to share our top 5 African songs. This time around, I am the one that curated the list. I am so proud of what I have got. Like, I just wish they just skip to that part, but no, we'll not skip to that part just yet. Okay, so there, people talk about their dynamics between men and women, and so in this very crazy video and very funny video, Apostle now, right? Apostle Johnson Suleiman gave a description of how women act and how men act. It is so hilarious, and I'm sure you're gonna find it funny. Let's check it out.
As you are thinking as a man, if you want to have a good relationship, understand that this woman is thinking opposite of what. If you are thinking left, she's thinking right. Oh, you don't understand me. Let me show you something. Are you watching me? When two guys see themselves, how they greet themselves is insult. Hey, Emmanuel, idiot! How are you? Long time, my guy. Your head no correct. Oh, you just throw me like that. Hey! Huh? Now, wow. So you feel say now you don't beat too much, you can't talk to me. Hey! They insult themselves. Then when they turn to go, he tells his friend, say, that guy was my guy in school. My guy. He will insult him publicly to greet him, compliment him when he's going. When a woman meets another woman, Amaka, long time. How much? Is it bone straight? Your level don't change. How much is the bone straight? What about your skirt? Are you serious? The Amaka say everything the year is about 5 million. Amaka, cut so for me, cut so for me, cut so. He says that. He says that. Look at that. Look at that. Listen, oh, listen. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Cut so for me. All right, I'll see you when she's going. Say everything there no past 2.5. As you are thinking as a man, if you want to have a good relationship, understand that this woman is thinking opposite of what. If you are thinking left, she's thinking right. Oh, you don't understand me. Let me show you something. Are you watching me? When two.
Okay, so that was a subtle shade. No, but
I'm glad you can relate.
No, I can't relate.
Come on.
No, because myself and my friends, we don't act that way.
It's not that this is a man of God. I would have said, give him a bottle of something. You know.
No, I'm not. No. I'm a lady, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that is all mushy. That's not true. Well, some ladies do that. You're like, yeah, I lie you. I like everything not reach 5 million. People say now, okay, scared. Now your hair said now original bow straight. I mean, look alike, bow straight, look alike. And then before you know it, some ladies will probably just go online and start browsing bow straight look alike. And then they'll start telling the other one, you don't say bow straight look alike, they resemble the original bow straight, but not the bow straight. No, some do it.
Very typical of ladies,
but not
it's
all
not,
ladies.
Yeah, it's not a ladies thing. No, guys also brag low key.
Yes.
Low key.
Yes.
I mean, like in discussions, you just came out to hang out with your guy. You guys just came to share a few bottles of drinks and maybe a fish or something. Before you know it, somebody's picking up the phone and talking about millions.
You won't let them know saying in their top.
Hello, if you do that to me, the kind of money I'm going to talk about, you will run away. Somebody is talking to you, just random conversation. I just finished up a contract. I'm working with so and so, dropping names like nobody asks you for anything. We are just here to have fun. You are dropping the name of this person, dropping figures. By the time I start my own, I'll tell you how my shoe was imported for 675 billion. Like, in fact, my haircut, I usually travel to London every weekend to cut my hair. And you know how much they cut hair in London now? In fact, that I'm inviting Trevor Noah to come and perform for me in my party that is holding next week. That I've booked a private jet for him.
I don't understand. All this for what? For what exactly?
Well, it's because of some people that like to intimidate others unnecessarily. You know.
That's why it's good to have good circle. And
another thing that he said that is true. I mean, we guys usually throw jabs at themselves, you know, insult themselves. But you know, behind the scene, you don't say your guy did for you.
Well, I think that when it comes to women are very complex, dynamic beings, and the truth is, I mean, I think one of these days we will take our time to talk about a whole lot of things about,
about women.
No, the sexes. I mean, the men and the gender.
Because one day will not be enough.
Oh my God. Because there's so many things that, and so sometimes when I see people having man and woman conversation, I'm always like, y'all just chill, because a woman is a woman. A man is a man. And no matter how you want to look at it, if a woman tries to if a woman tries to be like a man, in terms of her reasoning and the likes, it would just be she going out of her place to really put in the effort. But these things that make up a woman, they're the spices. That's just it. They're the spices. And so imagine if a woman starts acting like a man. You're not going to have all those spices anymore. But I don't mean the gossip spice. Now, you see the way she's gossiping with her friend. That's the same way she will give you, her man, the gist.
Who asked you for spice? Who asked you for spice?
Let me tell you, the only reason why man and woman are is because of the spice both parties bring to the table.
Who asked for spice?
Oh, so what do you ask for?
Just normal salt.
Salt.
Normal salt. I don't want spice.
So salt is not spice. It sweetens the food.
It's a natural sweetener.
Okay, so without salt. So exactly. So telling the woman to leave her element is like taking the salt from her. That's the way it is.
Okay, that sounded so good. But anyways.
I said the good stuff, you know that. All right. I cannot wait anymore. Let's just go right in.
Top 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to party. So, if you're watching this right now, or anytime you're going to watch this on our YouTube channel, I would strongly advise that you connect your phone to a speaker. Because we're about to have some great African tunes. And so, our first song, so you know how we're going to do it. So I share my 5 songs on my playlist, and then Ugo gets to rate them according to which one he thinks makes it to number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. You get that? You feel me?
I feel you.
You ready?
I feel you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's not cool.
Okay.
All right. So number one song that I have here is a song by J Melody, and this one is titled Nakupenda. Now, J Melody is a Tanzanian singer and songwriter. He's a fine boy, and calm down now. No, but he's light skinned, but he's a fine boy. So let's watch Nakupenda by J. I told you.
Now that was.
I know what I bring to the table.
That was a banger.
So I ain't scared to eat.
That is a banger.
So now this is 4 songs. Before we hit the last one, I want you to tell me what you think.
I'm a piano left and right. I'm a piano back to back. Well, definitely loving the piano sounds. I'm a piano now, yeah? I'm seeing a situation where 2 songs will be on number 1.
You've not had the last one, though.
Okay, so maybe 3 songs will be on number 1. So let's go for the last. Let's go for the last swing.
Okay, so the last one is Harmony. Oh no, Harmonize. Okay, so let's have Harmonize, and this particular song is titled "Single Again." Okay, so Harmonize is an amazing artist, and he's put out a lot of great songs. I love listening to Harmonize. I love watching his videos because one thing that gets me about the African songs is that it's always very colorful. They play a lot with color. They don't really care whether it matches or not, but it's always beautiful. So Harmonize, let me not talk. Okay, so let me let you guys know something. When the song started the chorus, Ugo went into a deep sober reflection. And I don't know what happened. Were you remembering something?
It was not for myself. I was feeling for the young man. Spending his, emotional energy, loving up on somebody who, wasn't for him.
Can you relate that story? Oh, I think I have tissue.
No. That is the reality of most people out there, and it's not even a gender thing. Some guys, loving up on ladies who, are really not in for those kind of stuff, and then some ladies loving up on guys who aren't really for those kind of stuff. So it's different.
Don't even go there.
It's different strokes.
Don't spoil this our fun with this emotional talk right now.
Different strokes for different
Please. So give your rating. Now you have the last one. Give your rating.
They say I should stop my emotional talk
Uh-huh.
and give my rating.
Yes.
Okay. That Mboso song.
Okay. Mboso.
Kunguru.
Unguru. Yeah.
Kunguru.
Okay.
It stuck in my head, so.
That's number 1.
Yeah, so we're doing number 1 to number 5, yeah?
Okay.
Not the other way around. And then that song by Suchu.
Okay.
CG. Man, it definitely had me in my elements, and very colorful video as well.
Okay.
I loved the flavor that Toss had on the song.
Yeah.
He was saying a lot of things I did not understand, but I did not stop dancing.
Okay.
So yeah.
And
my
his
goodness.
waist,
Look at that!
so much.
Brother, take it easy.
Okay, number 3.
Okay, number 3.
Okay.
I already said before, I'm not a preacher of love, yeah?
Uh-huh.
But the first 2 songs had all the makings of love.
Okay.
Love story, those kind of
Not
things.
heartbreak.
That's Nakupenda song.
Really? Medi? J Melody?
J Melody, yeah. I'm going to put it on number 3.
Are you serious?
Medi, Slowly, that's the title of his song.
Okay.
It's going to be on number 4.
Really?
And our man who is single again, because I honestly do not have the answer to if he will love again.
Okay.
While we're looking for that answer, let's give him a beautiful...
Number 3, Slowly number 4, and Harmonize coming at number 5. Now, I did say I was going to tell you something. Now, did you know that 4 of these artists are all Tanzanians? No, 3 of them are Tanzanians.
Yeah, because I know there's a Rwandan there.
Yeah, Rwanda and so J Melody is Tanzania, Zuchi Tanzania, Mboso also Tanzania, and then it's only Melody that is Rwandan. And then
I thought it was Medi that was Rwandan now.
Yeah, Medi is Rwandan, and then the others are all Tanzania. Now, amongst the Tanzanians, 3 are all from the same record label, which is Wasafi. And Wasafi is founded by who? Diamond Platnumz. So imagine the big money bag. So when people say that Diamond Platnumz is so rich, you don't get to understand why they say that.
Definitely one of the biggest from Africa.
Yes, he has lots and lots of amazing artists under his label. But anyway, we would have done something, but we don't have much time because there is this closing song I have prepared specially because I know that we're going to dance and stuff. It's a Friday, so like I told you, put your speaker on because this closing song is going to be mind-blowing. But just to, should we take the mindset video or just go straight to our closing? There's no time again. Follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram. Like our page on YouTube, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and make sure you follow all of our content. And I'd like to say that it has been a beautiful week from Monday through Friday. I've enjoyed spending time with you. It's time for me to go rest, refresh, and come back on Monday morning, bright and early, just for you, my love. My name is Cynthia Agbo.
Gochuku Madumere is my name. Thank you so much.
Our closing song, Costa Teach, and this amazing guys, a blessed memory, Costa Teach, a blessed memory. This particular song, let's just dance to it as we go. Bye bye.